What's going on, guys? MajorLeaugeShooter here. As you guys may or may not already know, there was an active shooter situation in the state of California. More specifically in the county of San Bernardino, in a facility that takes care of essentially, handicapped kids or some sort of disabilities and stuff like that. You know what I mean? The reason why I wanted to make a video on this, normally I don't do these kind of things. I just basically go all out on my social media, but I generally don't make videos on this kind of situations. Why? I don't know. I just don't do it. Sometimes I don't have time. When it happens, it's always inconvenient for me, but and right now it is still kind of inconvenient for me, but this one is kind of different because the facility that took place was the place where my son got treatment for his autism. Some of you guys know that my son is autistic, especially if you guys follow me on my social media. You guys definitely know my son is autistic. It's not a secret or anything like that, but the facility that got shot up was the place that me and my wife with my kids go or went frequently, I should say, before we left the state of California because of my son. So if I was there, I carried in California. If I was there while this shooting was happening, it's no secret, I've been in combat before. I'm not scared to put my life on the line to save others. If I was there, I would have been able to do something about it. However, that facility is essentially a gun-free zone, like half of California is, for the most part, is a gun-free state. And this is getting old, guys. It's getting very old very quick. The rationale of the anti-gun community is just so absurd. It's kind of scary if you ask me. How no matter what happens in society that points against their rationale, no matter what, their conclusion is guns are bad. Not guns in the hands of bad people is bad, but guns in general is bad. That's absurd. 100%. Because the small amount of bad individuals that are out there with guns, there's a substantially larger number with good guys with guns. If the vast majority of good individuals had firearms to defend themselves, situations like what happened in San Bernardino would be almost non-existent. I say almost non-existent because there's no way we're going to get rid of mass shootings. It is statistically impossible. It's going to happen. No matter where you look, no matter how you try to avoid, it's going to happen. Bad people, even if you ban guns, just look at Paris. The entire country is a gun-free zone. Bad people still ended up with guns. Go figure. No matter what you do, there's not one piece of legislation that you can do or pass that will ensure the 100% public safety of the people. It's just impossible. The good thing you can do, the thing that will be the most rational to do, is to arm the good populace and provide some training for them so that the people that don't know about guns can know about guns and know how to be safe with guns. And if the situation should arise, they would be able to do something in a situation like a mass shooting. Now, put this into perspective. Today's shooting was absurd. It should have never happened to begin with, right? But if there was one person, granted there was a suspected 3, as of right now there's a suspected 3 shooters. But if one person was to put up a resistance, that would have decreased the number of fatalities, the number of injured and stuff like that. And quite possibly, there is a possibility that that one individual could have stopped all 3 individuals. Although there is a possibility that the criminals, the gunmen, were wearing body armor. That doesn't mean they can't die if they get shot. You know what I mean? Their entire body wasn't covered in body armor. So one person with a gun could have made a difference. Although substantially small compared to 3 individuals, it would have possibly made a significant difference in the outcome of this scenario. Now, guys, I can't stress this enough. I used to be a little gangster, bald-headed guy, had guns illegally and everything like that. Guns that are not even legal in the state of California, not even legal in the country. I had access to explosives, things like that, and it was not very difficult to get. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. was not very difficult to get. As a matter of fact, it was not difficult at all to get. So this whole fallacy that the anti-gun community says that if we restrict more people from getting guns, how are you going to do that? The entire country of France is essentially a gun-free state. Most guns and stuff are banned there, and yet they had fully automatic rifles. Does that make sense? And even if they weren't fully automatic, let's say they weren't even rifles, they were just pistols. The fact of the matter is, pistols are not necessarily legal either. And yet they still had access to all that stuff. They still made bombs. They still, you know, it's insane. This whole fallacy of the anti-gun community is, quite frankly, frustrating and essentially scary. Because no matter what happens in this world, their mind is already set, and no matter what you say, you can present them with all logical facts and statistics. They will not change their mind because their mind is already set. You know, they want to talk about debating and all this stuff. Well, what's the point of debate? Is to try to convince the other person that your point is right. But what's the point of a debate if both sides of the spectrum are so hard-headed that there is no moving their rationale? You know, both Democrats and Republicans want to act like, you know, that they're open to reason, logical arguments, things like that, but nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to listen, especially Obama. It didn't take very long after today's shooting before Obama made his first, you know, statements on the issue. Granted, it wasn't very substantial. It wasn't anything to be very concerned about. He basically, in a nutshell, stated that there was not enough information to make a determination on what the situation was. Which is a rational thing to say, you know, for the first time ever, instead of jumping the gun and start making some absurd accusations. So I applaud the president for that one today. However, it didn't take very long for him to make comments on the situation. And yet they're still pushing the issue on gun control. Hillary today said, quote unquote, enough is enough on a tweet. That we have to do something on gun control. Guys, if these anti-gun liberal maniacs are not open to reason, statistics, or any way, shape, or form to stop these homicidal maniacs, or to stop this anomaly from happening, then I mean, there is no hope for this country. As a matter of fact, all of the people that sit in their couches that are pro-gun and yet go along with the flow and do absolutely nothing to protect your rights. I'm sorry to tell you, man, you're pro-gun. I applaud you for that. That's outstanding. However, you are a part of the problem. The patriots during the revolution did not sit on their couch. They stood up and fought against tyranny from a tyrannical king at the time. And yet, you want to act like you are very pro-gun. No. If you are pro-gun, if you're pro-freedom, you're pro this country, you would stand up and at least share a freaking Facebook page. Share the word. Share your personal opinion and stand firm on what you believe as far as, you know, your pro-Second Amendment rights or your pro-rights, period. Guys, I don't stand anywhere. I don't sit on a couch anywhere. I would stand up and fight against any force willing to take down my country, whether foreign or domestic. I swore that when I swore that oath when I became a military police officer. And that, I strongly believe that oath never died. So I already know what's going to happen next with this San Bernardino, you know, shooting. There's going to be a big push for gun control. People are scared, so they're going to buy into this politics. And a lot of the times when people are scared, they sacrifice some of their freedoms, and yet later on in the future, they start to realize that that was not the necessary approach to take. So it's up to you me and every other person that's pro-gun, pro-freedom and everything like that to stand up for our rights and let them know that emotions make bad policies. You can't just react. You can't just act on on passing legislation just because you feel a certain way at that certain time. You can't live your life scared, because the one that lives their life scared are the ones that fall in the end. And I'll be damned if my country is the one that falls. Now, I'm very frustrated with this stuff, you know what I mean? The government is not the only ones that are frustrated with these, homicidal maniacs that want to take their rage out on, public locations because they're easy or soft targets, so to speak. They are not the only ones that are frustrated. I am frustrated. I know a lot of pro-gun people that are frustrated. And quite frankly, I know a lot of pro-gun people, ex-military and military, that are still serving on active status, that are so tired of it. We have sworn to protect our people on another level. So ISIS, if this was you, I dare you to come try to find me, dude. Just put it like that. I'm not scared of you. I will never be scared of you. I killed your type of people in combat. You think I'm scared of you? Come try me. I've been prepared since I got out of the military. Hell, I've been prepared while I was in the military. I learned a thing or two. You guys are all stupid cowards. Hide behind your stupid little masks. Allah Akbar my ass. Push a little button while hiding behind a freaking rock about a click away. And yet you're too freaking coward to come face us man to man. If this was you, I just want to let you know, Americans will not cower to your tyranny. Americans will not cower to the little faceless masks that you guys are portraying to the country based off of your fallacies of your ideology. I'm not scared. America's not scared. Come try us. I dare you. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you guys.